Hello students. So let us understand the concept of method overriding. We had already understood what overloading was. Let me recall. Overloading was a concept where there were multiple functions which were present in the same class. And those functions were different in the way like they were having different type and number of arguments. So this method overriding is very much different to overloading, because in method overriding we will be making an implementation after the inheritance is done. That means method overriding is not possible within a single class. It is present, or it can be understood with the concept of inheritance. So in case we are having a relationship between base and derived class, then only we can have understanding of method overriding. So method overloading is limited to one class where multiple methods within the same class are present with the different number and type of arguments. But here in this method overriding, what we will understand is that a method which is present in one class is also present in the derived class. So what happens, and do we need to have a different number and type of arguments? No. So method overriding, number one principle. The first principle is that the methods, two methods are present within this in base as well as derived class. For example, in this example, I'm having a function which is derived, which is display, that is present in one class, and we'll see that there is a class 2, and if I try to create display function within the class 2 as well, we can say that display function is overridden. Now can I do it? So if two methods are present in the base as well as derived class with the same signature, the important thing is the method's prototype must be same. So prototype or the signature, both are the similar things. So two methods signature should be the similar one. Signatures means the arguments, the number of arguments and the return type, both must be the same. So in case the return type and arguments are similar one, we say that the method signatures are similar one. Not to forget that the function names must be similar one. Once I say signatures are similar, so name is included in that. So let us implement this concept of method overriding. Let us see what challenges are there. So I was having a display function present in one class, class 1, and the class 2 is not doing anything. It is just creating an object of class 2 by passing two arguments, and this object of class 2 is ready, and we are trying to print the value of this particular object with the help of display function, and this display was also a function of the base class. What if I try to redefine this function here? So in order to redefine it, you must know its original definition. So let us copy this definition. In fact, here let's copy this function and write it in the derived class in the similar way. Let's copy it. Now this function OB, that is using this display function call. Now this display function call, earlier it was not present here in this derived class. So what it was doing, it was finding, first it found that it is not present in the derived class, so it looked after its instance in the base class, and once it was found there, it actually executed that. So because this display function was inherited, so this display was inherited, automatically it was available to the derived objects, so it was earlier executing. But now what I have done is I have redefined it. So let us write one more statement here so that you may be able to differentiate that I am in derived class, right? And let us write this statement also in the base class as well. In base class. So now that, let me first give you the output after making a comment of this. So let us see what happens. So I am compiling this program, running this too, and you will see that it is saying in base class. That means which version of display it is calling? It is calling the base class version. Now let's uncomment this, which we have just written, save the program, and now go on to call this function again. Let us run this program again. Now once you run it, you will see that it is now calling the derived class definition. So we say that the derived class definition has overridden the above class definition. So why it is called as overriding, now you can understand that the derived class definition has overridden class definition, overrides. Override means the function present in the derived class will execute the definition of base class. So this is what is actually happening. So a method which is actually present in the base class, even if it has been inherited, the derived class can redefine the function and add some more lines into it, or some modify this particular behavior in its own way, so that it does the same behavior but in a different way. So this overriding also gives a new definition of this concept, that a function has two forms. So our function has multiple forms. So what do we actually mean by having a function with the multiple forms? So if one function is having multiple forms and they can be called individually, we say that this nature is called as polymorphism. So this function display is polymorphic here. So that's why this concept of polymorphism is achieved. So in case of overloading also, we say that this also gives you a flavor of polymorphism, because the one function was present in different forms, in the forms of different arguments. And there also we may call individual functions by passing different number of arguments. So that was also a kind of polymorphism, and it's called as compile time polymorphism, because we are able to resolve the function call at the compile time. But here in the overriding concept, we say that this polymorphism is giving you a rise of the concept that is called as runtime polymorphism, because at the runtime only we may be able to resolve the call. So this resolving of function call can also be achieved once we see how the upcasting and downcasting, or how the base class object is referring to the derived class object. So that there is another definition of polymorphism which we actually see in the next video, where we'll actually see that from how the base class object or base class reference can actually get access to all the derived class objects. And there we'll actually see the method overridings actual definition. So to understand that, so let's end this video here and we'll meet in the next video to complete this concept.